And then. So first resolution, move the agenda. So moved by Councillor Butler, second by Councillor Dowsett. Be it resolved that the October 28th, 2025 agenda be hereby adopted. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. The agenda, adoption of the agenda. When I click the right spot.
Minutes.
Minutes, yeah, sorry. Adoption of the minutes, so moved by Councillor Taylor, second by Councillor Dowsett. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting, October 14th, 2025 be approved as presented. Any questions on the minutes? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, that brings us to our delegation. So we have Fire Chief Dean Jordan here. I'll turn the floor over to Dean. Sure.
I can print kind of what I'm gonna through, or well, I can email it to Danielle and she could send it out after. There's nothing that probably is too earth shattering, but yeah, thanks for having me to the meeting tonight. Danielle asked if I could come and just kind of give you a bit of a summary of kind of what we've been up to for the past 10 months or so. And if there's any questions and stuff like that, I can certainly answer some. Call volume, I'd say is pretty typical for this time of year. We're at 51 calls now. Typically, we're in that 70 to 80 per year. So with coming into snow and the next couple of months, we'll probably be there. With another 20 some calls will be about normal. Some years we've been up around 90, but around we have had years just after COVID and pre-COVID, we're in that 60s. So I'd say 70 to 80 is pretty typical. The breakdown of those calls are pretty standard. Motor vehicle accidents were about 37% of that. Fire alarms 17%. Grass fires were at 16%. Vehicle fires 12% of that. Structure fires 10%, so that's up a little bit. And then other were at 8. The other would be things like lift assists, if ambulance needs us to come and help get somebody out of the house, or stars landing when they come in. There are times we have to go out and land them and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty normal year in terms of call volume. On the membership side of things, we really haven't changed over the last few years. We're still at 21 members. Our newest being Great Kingdom. We had hoped to add a few more beginning this year, didn't really happen. So we actually did talk about the last couple of meetings here. We're actively looking for to add just a few more, so that hopefully in the early like in January, February, we can start a level 1 and get Greg into that and these new guys. Not that I anticipate losing anybody, but just with retirements, guys aging, and just some different, priorities changing. People are having some kids, so we're starting to see some of the, attendance shift on a few of the calls. So nothing concerning though there. Some of the more significant events, I guess, over the last in this year, we had again Nick and Jeff go down to Texas for that fire brigade training. We're supposed to have another couple go this fall with Cenovus, but that got canceled. They did just a US only training, so we're in talks with them to send some more down again in 2026, but we just don't have any dates yet. So and the expenses related to that all come out of that contribution from Cenovus with the fire agreement. So we've been working with them. I've met with Bobby and Nick from Calgary and stuff like that a few times when they've been out, just talking about training and different things with Cenovus. Still doing the bi-weekly training. We did quite a bit out at the lake with some pump ops and water rescue. We went out to Squirrel Hills for some search and rescue stuff there, just with quite a bit of activity going out there. We felt that was important. Been up to the auto records for doing some cutting for Vehicle X, and then quite a bit out at the training grounds as well there. So Equipment budget wise, you'll see, we will be, under budget this year. A few of the things that we, like I say, the training and stuff that we had planned, didn't materialize. So there was a bit of savings there. We also did have some equipment we bought at the right time and saved some substantial money. Like our thermal camera mold, I think it was 6,000 we saved on that, just buying it at the right time. And I was able to get a grant for a new fire skid, so it's got a water tank and a pump and for wildland fires. So that was about 6,000 or 8,000. We got that donated by Global Medics, so that was, again, it all adds up, right? So a few of those things, we did get basically all the other equipment that we, I think by and large, what we had planned. We bought a bit of the stuff already to start to outfit the new pump that'll arrive next year. So there was, 800 feet of high vol, like big, water, hose that has to go on top. And so I tried to spread that out over this year and next year, so we're not getting hit all at once to outfit this new truck. So the last of it just came into Carmen today, so it'll be in the hall this week. In terms of the new pump, that's kind of probably the bigger thing. Was talking with Seahawk over the last couple of months there. I was chatting with Danielle to kind of update her. But that delivery date got pushed back, so they were supposed to have it to us in January. Internal process changes, supply chain issues and whatever else, that's now caused the delivery to be back. I would put it at June, July. I think we're number 12 or 13 on the list, as of about a month ago. They do about 2 a month. So depending on, with Christmas coming up and different delays, I would peg it in they told me kind of early spring, but just depending on how that goes, that's my own guess, is kind of in that June, July range that we'll see that actually in the hall, so. But otherwise, yeah, not much new or changed on that front. Other, I guess, kind of notable things, we had workplace health and safety come through in the spring and summer, and nothing too notable there. They asked for quite a bit of documentation for our maintenance logs on all the equipment. Our training records, our pump ops, or sorry, pump tests that Seahawk does, all that kind of stuff. So we had all that stuff to give them, so they were, she was satisfied with that. There was one thing on the, that they wanted us to follow up on, but it was just a matter of fit tests, they call them. So it's to make sure that our SCBA masks fit your face. We have a standard size, like most rural departments, that fit, the majority of our faces, but you do have some members that do have wider faces or narrower. And so that's why they do these fitment tests. So that's been scheduled for ABC and that'll be done this fall, so. But other than that, yeah, there's not a whole lot from our side of things that I can kind of think of. Do you have any questions for me or for?
The council have any questions for Dean?
I just have one question, Ian. So, with Synovus, have you been out with them, going through their, fire procedures and that kind of stuff? Is that part of our program now?
Yeah, it is. So yeah, I work with Jerry Oliver. He's their, no, you can correct me title wise, but he is their, I think he's their workplace safety guy up there basically. So I did sit down and work quite a bit with Jerry in the spring and was developing these pre-plans.
Yeah.
So if this happens, this is what we do. So we went through, basically there's a pre-plan for every building, including the tanks and everything out there. So him and I worked together on that, and yeah, so that's been sent to us. So we're actually planning a site visit for the fall here with the department. After having gone through these, then we can go out there and just put the two together. We do regular site visits out there with the department, at least once a year, if not twice. And just to familiarize everybody with what we're gonna encounter if we do attend anything. But yeah, so there's pre-plans in place for everything over there that I'm gonna work with Jerry, so.
How many drone operators do you have?
Drone operators, we have one, that's one licensed. And all of us have been able to fly them, but we do have one license.
So, yeah,
expand that.
That's something that we've talked about internally about, yeah, adding at least another 2, 3 people, just in case he's not able to come. So, but yeah, we do have the one drone and we have used it quite a bit, actually. Grass fires is something we use it on, search and rescues, so.
Pretty easy to find people now.
Yeah, actually, it's pretty good. We've done it on the lake where we've actually, the crew's dispatched and then just in a training, but the crew's dispatched and he actually flies it from the hall out there. So he's locating it while we're on route. And then he's able to hover above the person and then radio to us and say, hey, this is where we found them, this is what I can see. Now, that's in a training exercise, but, we've used it on live, grass fires and stuff to see if the fire is extended beyond the bush. Do we need to send some people over?
And for the pilots, is there a cost for that?
There is, yeah. So depending on the license, the one that we need, I think it was, I'd have to verify the cost on it. I'd want to see it was $200.
Oh, really?
Wasn't the one that he had. There are more expensive ones, but I think the one that we're able to, the way that I've read it, I don't think it's cost prohibitive to put another you guys through it. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Any other questions for Dean?
That's all.
Well, thank you very much. We have a resolution to do first to accept your report, and then you're welcome to join us for the evening, or you can go.
I'm gonna head back to hockey practice there.
Okay, so the resolution to accept the report moved by Councillor Dowsett, second by Councillor Slade, that the presentation provided by Fire Chief Dean Jordan be received. Any further questions for Dean? All in favor? Oh.
Do you have any concerns?
From the far side?
Yep.
No, I think, I think we have a good group of people and I think we have the support from council in terms of budgetary, and just, sport generally, so yeah, I don't have any concerns from my side of things. I know some other departments have issues getting members and stuff like that and retaining members and getting equipment and, I just don't. Since I've taken over, I haven't, from my side, I haven't received that kind of, any of that pushback, so, yeah, it makes my job, life a little bit easier, so. No concerns from my side.
Good.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay, I'll recall the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you, Dean.
Yeah,
Think about leadership.
thanks, Paul. Okay, okay,
Have a good one.
okay, thanks.
Okay, that takes us into our next order of business is the Valley Life Housing Resolution.
I'm going to declare conflict here, because I sit on the committee of not council committee, but rather the committee, so I don't think I should be part of that.
Okay,
Can you wait outside for?
Yeah, in case you want to call you back for a question.
Yeah.
okay, the resolution, so moved by Councillor Dowsett, second by Councillor Landry. Whereas council had passed resolution numbers 2023-136 and 2024-194, securing 3 lots, 128, 130, and 132 Hillside Avenue for the Valley Life Housing Group active living facility with construction or development started by December 31st, 2025. And whereas Valley Life Housing representative appeared before council and provided an update on the status of construction and noted that no construction would commence before the December 31st, 2025 timeline. And whereas the representatives had requested an extension to that date with the right of first refusal agreement should a party be interested in any of the 3 reserved lots. Therefore, be it resolved that Valley Life Housing Group for the active living project be granted an extension to December 31st, 2026, and the right of first refusal agreement. Questions, Councillor Dowsett?
I'd be in favor of this, it's the, why would we not? Right, so.
Councillor Blank.
I just wanna make sure, so, we're not locking it up completely till
No,
December 31st, 2026. We can still take bids on it.
They get first
Before then and
refusal.
after then, it's just giving them first refusal.
Yep.
Okay, no, I don't see a problem with that.
Okay, anybody else? Council Marks.
So are we currently actually communicating with Colton? Basically telling him to tell a prospective developer that they can use these lots? Cause that was my understanding. From the budget, or the
Yeah.
pre-budget meeting.
If an interested party would like to submit an offer they can submit an offer. And then if this is passed by council, then we have to get permission from Valley Life to sell it to them.
Or they have to come up with the money.
Yes,
Yeah, because, yeah, I didn't think that's what Grant had communicated in the budget meeting. I thought Grant had communicated that they realized they were not in a position to continue with it, and that they would be looking at potentially developing in another location, and he specifically mentioned the most westward portion of the development at the end of the road.
Okay,
He was talking about if it was bought. Other than that, we still have the same location.
Okay, so we're going with.
There's still other,
Yeah,
First refusal?
yes,
he did indicate that, what you're saying, but they don't know when that other land's gonna come for sale, or if, or how much. So they would like this deferred, and then if somebody wants to buy it, they either come up with the money or they say, no, thanks, we can't, so. That's what this is, Councilor.
Danielle mentioned, if an offer comes in, is there not a set price for those, lots?
yes.
Yeah, but they still have to make it hot.
Okay, no, okay, I just
It's
wondered,
that price, but they still have to make
we're not gonna
an
discount.
official offer.
it is a set price, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Just one, as, if, that land, would Colton be, willing to look at another parcel of land out there? This is, did he say anything about that, Daniel, you know?
and the developer,
Yeah,
no, yes, that's the only
that's,
lot that's permitted for multi-residential.
Yeah.
Free, so.
Everything else we have up there is single family.
except for one bond.
Council Marks.
So are we understanding that, so as of now, if we vote for this, these lots will be listed? Or are we waiting until the 31st of this year? Which is what the previous bylaw basically restricted it to. Or they could be listed.
Yeah, I think they could be purchased right now. If the other developer comes forward, says, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Then we ask the Valley Life Housing, okay, we've got somebody, so you either come up with the money or they let it go.
I think Grant was indicating there's not much money coming forward as they grow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I realize that they have.
No, that's not.
Okay, any other questions?
No.
All in favor? Opposed, carried.
Put that away.
Okay, the next resolution is to bring back the resolution we tabled. Moved by Councillor,
I'm waiting for Mr. Butler.
second by Councillor Butler. That resolution number 2025-202 be brought back to the table. Questions or comments? Councillor Randall.
Recorded, vote, please.
Okay.
Sorry, I missed the mover,
Oh, sorry, Councillor Taylor.
thank you.
Any other questions on this motion? Yes, Councillor Beverly.
And Grant, Leah brought this back. Because you kind of requested, was there anything you'd like to add? That we may not have thought of it?
And it was tabled because you weren't there.
Yeah, last one.
That's.
No, so this is just to bring it back to the table.
This is just open up for discussion.
Yeah,
Yeah, and again, it can be repeated after that part.
Yes.
Yeah, which, this is just for bringing the original back to the table.
Okay, so
So this doesn't stop anything, this just brings it back to the table for discussion further.
yeah, it doesn't do anything other than get it back for discussion, that's all, which is what he originally.
Or we could speed things up, like.
Does anybody else have any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Let me see it, that, I'm gonna have to make sure she's better recorded. Oh, sorry, by the way, Carrie.
Okay.
Got it? Okay. So the next resolution, that's the one that was tabled, right?
Correct. This is the one that's coming back to the table from the last meeting. So it already has a mover and seconder.
Right. So now this is, so I'll read out the resolution. We have the mover and seconder from before because it was brought back under that. So whereas Council Grant Butler had provided notice of motion for resolution numbers 2025-131. Recording and posting of council meetings on September 23rd, 2025. Therefore, be it resolved that resolution number 2025-131 be brought back to the table. Discussion on that motion. Councilor Landry.
Make it a recorded vote, please.
Okay. Any, Councilor Bear.
I see the benefits of recording it. I also see why not. So I really do believe that it's not gonna be a ton of work that we're putting on the administration, that we should record and film.
Okay,
That would be my statement.
Councilor Blair.
So we can still record, and if the ratepayer or citizen, whatever, wants access to that, they would be entitled to access to that still anyways. We're not dissolving recording completely, are we, or are we?
Depends how the resolution goes.
It'll be all or nothing.
Councilor Marks.
I would like to bring up our strategic plan, where basically we stated that we wanted to record said things, and we literally gave an update a year ago saying that we have basically moved forward with this, and that we have the equipment, and I just don't get where this is coming from.
Okay. Councilor Landry.
I would just like to say that the last resolution that we had regarding this in June was supported unanimously by everybody around the table to record the meetings and to post them. So I challenge the ones that are wanting to change their minds now. What changed since the end of June to now?
Okay. Councilor Butler.
Being I was the one that speak now, to start with, I'm not totally opposed to recording. I think that it has merit, and I think that, maybe I shouldn't have been a notice of motion, but maybe a further discussion, being that we've been in this for a while, and see what the pros and cons are. I know that Danielle attended a conference, and there was some concern about video recording at that conference. My concerns are not necessarily about the videoing per se. When we first brought the video in, even though it was discussed in my first term, it was, I think that there has to be a discussion by councilors as to our mannerisms and how we handle ourselves around the table. Because we are in the public's eyes, and I think that we have to be very conscious of that. That's not saying that videoing is necessarily a bad thing for council, but I want us to understand that some of the discussions that we have, whether it be sidebar discussions that may be picked up, whether it be gestures at the council table when things may not be going our way, can be a bad light on council and all of us, that we're dysfunctional to a certain degree, and that doesn't happen very often, don't get me wrong. I think that And I brought this up with one of our CAOs, I can't remember which one. We talked about that, at our first go around, but,
Yes, I remember, then it was the, Doppler. At the time.
well, I think, previous mayor also, but I guess that's a.
Another discussion for us too, again, I guess. It's whatever, I'm not worried, I'm worried.
The conversations,
Right,
you know,
but, getting feedback here.
So I guess, Council Marks, I'll let you.
Grant brought up a point, and I know. I've heard another point that's nearly identical, but or similar. And that was the inadvertent recording of after. And the other was the inadvertent recording of the camera. Regarding those two. I don't think, well, I think a very easy solution would be that we commence the meetings with the statement that recording is starting. And that we also incorporate into with our resolution to go in camera, that recording stops. And that in our resolution to come out of camera, that recording ends. And then our resolution to adjourn, that report stops. And I think because those are pretty much all copy and pasted into the agendas. And as they're read, that it will fix that issue.
Okay, and I would just like to comment that as far as the, I'll take some responsibility for the confusion, because I should stop the conversations, and I will try and be a little more forceful with that, because we do get a lot of side conversation, and it does get tough to control, but I gotta start using the gavel. So I'll do that. That's about it.
And for the side conversation, my concern would be that we're even closer proximity. In what it picks up,
Yes,
and again. If it does, then I don't wanna, that's just gonna put pressure on our administration but it's also paints everybody with a brush and not that. It's gonna happen and hopefully it will never happen, but it's just something to be conscious of when you're videoing. And that was my point when we were bringing this in when our initial thoughts is. The one where I did read, when I don't think this is happening in this council. But some councilors don't feel that they can speak. They're held back because of the video. I don't think that's the problem here. But and again, Danielle's report here is some information about from the session she attended. But again, a lot of that I think has more to do with the legality part. If we get caught into something, I mean that's just a caution that I would like to throw. And again, I'm just gonna say, maybe I did this the wrong way.
we had the conversation, so thanks, Grant.
Council Blake.
I don't know, we've been doing this for a while. And I don't know very long. But there is times where I do feel as though I'm not always completely comfortable with speaking about what we're trying to speak about. I don't like it being this close either, but there is times when appropriate language, probably by myself even, things like that, I worry about. I think it's, Grant mentioned here, legal implications there. We're not always as professional as what we need to be. And it doesn't mean we're stopping videoing. We can always continue to video. And that can be requested by anybody as what's supposed to be happening as it reads here for the last 200 years. You've been able, or 100 years, whatever it is, we've been able to attend these freely and openly. So, I mean, it's always been open to the public anyways, at all times. So I just.
Okay. Council.
I think it's important to note that our federal politicians have been reported on TV for 40 or 50 years now. C-SPAN. Yeah, so since 1977, so. Yeah, I feel comfortable reiterating anything I say in public to the camera to the regular residents, so I have absolutely no issues with this. And I think that if people are worried about it, then we need to learn that somebody can come up here with the video camera and record us anytime with administration's permission according to the bylaw. But I have no issues.
That's happened.
Okay, anybody else? What's the, so I guess we're talking about the motion here, the recording and posting of council meetings that's already moved and seconded.
Right now, you're dealing with bringing it back
Bringing
to
it
the
back,
table,
right.
so if you. Carry this resolution, you're bringing it back for discussion. If you, defeat this, then we're done.
That was what we voted on before. We already voted on bringing it back.
That was.
That was to bring this one back to the table, because you
Okay.
tabled it at the last meeting.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
we,
so we're bringing it back to bringing it back.
Yes,
Yeah.
so if we defeat it, then we're
Defeat
still.
this.
Yeah,
we move on to new business.
and that's procedure to bring back motion, you have to go through those processes to get it actually back on the table. Sometimes tabling a motion is complicated, but anyway, you had your.
I just wanna make sure,
Which way you're voting?
yes,
Yeah.
exactly, because
That's me too, I.
we are voting now
to bring it back, so in other words, we are in favor.
More advanced, but just,
Sorry, yeah.
yeah, I'll explain it in a second.
Okay.
Councilor Bob.
That's what I need.
Yeah,
So I brought this motion forward for notice of motion, but I'm not in favor of bringing it back to the table. I think that I have discussed all I want to discuss, and I don't think there's a need to have it bring it back to the table to rediscuss.
No,
I think my points have been heard by councillors, and we go forward continuing with the video.
So, okay, so,
not the, not the.
Yeah, everything,
yes,
everything.
so what this, right now, if you vote in favor, if you vote yes to this motion, it'll bring it back to the table. If you defeat this motion, it won't come back to the table, then we're done with it. Which is kind of what he's suggesting. You got that? Like, and vote in favor of what we're doing now, that I'll call the question. That is saying, yes, I want to bring it back to the table. Defeating it says, no, I don't want it back to the table, we're done, and we continue doing what we've been doing.
it's already been
Yeah,
approved.
because it's already been done. Is that clear?
I believe so.
Okay, then I'll call the, any other comments? I'll call the question, all those in favor,
Bring it back to the.
of bringing it back, yeah. Oh. Defeated. Okay.
You all understand that?
I don't think you completely. Sorry.
Okay, we'll go on to the next resolution, the new business, age-friendly action plan, moved by Councillor Taylor, second by Councillor Dosset. Whereas the town of Minidos had been designated as an age-friendly community, and whereas the committee had created an action plan for council's review and approval, and whereas the town's action plan would be a step to completing the next milestone, therefore, be it resolved that the presented town of Minnedosa's age-friendly committee action plan be approved and submitted to Age-Friendly Manitoba. Questions or comments on the action plan? You've had things in front of you.
So the action plan is not a commitment of council to do everything on it.
It's a draft.
It's
I personally want to thank the committee that we had that night, and thank you Danielle for getting that, and thank Rachel for the work that she's done on this. There's a grant that we can apply for, has been probably sent it with it.
It'll be sent tomorrow after this is resolution is done.
And that's for,
2,000.
that's for $10,000.
Was it 10,000?
Yeah, $10,000. We already got $1,000 for it. I thought it was, but
You thought it was gonna be 2,000.
yeah, that's what Brandon said, I thought was, but we only got $1,000, but this next thing, and it's a draft that was presented to us, and we had a very good discussion, I thought. I don't know why we wouldn't be doing this, I think it's a great thing for our community, it's not just for older people, it's for, it's age friendly, meaning minors, everybody.
Strollers to walkers,
I mean,
strollers to
yeah,
walkers.
everything, and like, it's, we are one of the only communities around this area that is not involved in age friendly action plan, so, or community plan.
Any other comments? Councilor Buckley.
Just reviewing the beach and spray park. It has the strategy actions, install mobile mat at the beach. Item number 2,
Yes,
second on the line.
Mhm.
Friends of Lake really don't have anything to do with that.
We have those already.
We did, the EDC's already purchased one through a grant from the Minnedosa Foundation.
Yeah,
But Friends of the Lake is, their partners are Friends of the Lake, if it was dealing with strictly with mobile mat. Then,
I think it was more just consultation with them.
okay,
Where it would.
yeah, I just think we're gonna
Bullshit.
okay,
Yeah.
all right, that's,
Yeah.
okay,
It's just the.
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Okay. Councilor Buckley.
Just wondering, so with these action plans that are dated basically already 2025 and 2026, those are not written in stone, are they? I mean, some of these can't be done by 2020.
And some of them are on.
Some of them have to be done in 2028 and 20,
Yeah.
you know, cause if we're looking for money from the town and stuff like that. Also, are they raising their, is the. Sorry, the committee itself raising funds also to offset this, are they coming up with half the money and then looking for the other half, that type of stuff?
As was discussed at the meeting, Mark, it's a budgetary assessment, once we figure out exactly what we wanna do, there's some things in there that's just sort of up to.
Budgetary by
Yeah.
the accessibility committee or by
The
the,
rail at the MREC Center, it's already purchased, is that right, Dan?
It's being fabricated, yes.
Yeah.
Now, and that's something that for seniors and the handicap parking that was moved from the one side over the other side, sort of showed when we were up there that night, it's perfect spot, it doesn't have to be changed, now it's all done. So I mean, and Margaret, or I talked a little about that, and something that's, they're quite happy because you're walking right off the handicap, being able to take a wheelchair accessible right into the.
Yeah.
But the railing is something that's gonna be done.
yeah, I know, and I see some of these are very easy to do and
Yes.
they'll be done probably this year,
Yeah.
if not next year for
Yeah,
sure,
but-
the such as
yeah,
If
railings
it
and
comes
things
to
like that.
money.
But when it comes to money for, say, for instance, some Moby mats and things like that, I see those and they're fantastic. But at what cost and who is funding them?
Between the committee and town council, it will be, they'll apply for grant.
That's,
Like that's why some of it's not gonna happen
Yeah.
right away and take some time. Some of it will happen right away, because there's not much cost to it, and the railings are already ordered.
no, I
It's
just,
something
I
they
just
identify,
see,
they are identifying stuff.
One of the major costs was the, Tom brought up the crosswalk by the dairy outlets, one of the.
26 and 68.
It's because of the MRAC site, there were people, kids walking from that area across up to the MRAC site. You know, so that would be probably one of our biggest expenditures that we have to do, but budgetary items that we did a minute on.
for that and for maps and things like that, I just look at it as.
Yeah.
There's dates there on that, and that's what surprised me when. That has to be included in this year's budget, when it's not in the foreseeable future right now, it is in the future, but. Not
And
in-
the dates may
not-
change. It's
Not in this year's budget that
And the
we're doing.
dates may change, it's a draft.
Yes, okay. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
It's,
Council Dawson, you have your hand up?
Yes. The committee already set up a bank account and who would they use?
I don't think we're a bank account because it's.
Yes, it's a committee of council,
Yeah,
so. we're-
so that's why we,
The budget,
Oh, so the 10,000 will come under our umbrella, not committee?
that's it.
correct, and it'll be
Okay.
earmarked in the budget for age friendly.
Yeah,
Because I was uncertain how that program worked, if we were doing it. So thank you.
yeah.
Council Buck,
The councils are part of that, you're comfortable with this? new Plan?
It's a
I'm
plan.
comfortable with all aspects of it.
They're reasonable ideas.
Okay, well, that's all I want to know, there was some concern brought up at the last.
I'm very excited, like, there's a number of things was brought up, you know. But some of the sidewalks and it's already been discussed through with Brian that changes are gonna be made for certain sidewalks. So that was one of the discussions where the water leaks have been and they dug up and they've been set and stuff like that, and for wheelchairs and scooters, it's a little bit hard for them to get around. So,
yeah, I think the councilors, and I was at that meeting, and I think it's safe to say that there was a little bit of confusion before that meeting.
very much so.
That it got clarified, and that's why it's a draft plan that will determine, obviously, money's gonna determine how quick things can be done, so. But it was a pretty good meeting. I think that's it.
In that draft plan, I don't see any scooter lanes. Had that been discussed?
Yeah, that wasn't one of the major concerns, Tom.
But if we have that development online,
Yes,
right?
yes, so
So
if that happens.
it has been discussed somewhat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And, yeah, going forward, there can be more discussion, so yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions on that? All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
thank you.
Okay, next resolution, Manitoba Summer Games, moved by Councillor Dowsett, second by Councillor Landry. Whereas Sport Manitoba would be holding the Manitoba Summer Games in 2028. And whereas the bid application, step one, must be submitted no later than December 19th, 2025. And whereas the host community would be required to provide financial support of $100,000. And whereas all sponsorship, merchandise, and ticket sale go directly to the host. Therefore, be it resolved that administration's request to submit a bid application be approved. Questions or comments? Councilor Blake.
So is this done, this $100,000? So that's submitted by the town of Minnedosa and the town of Neepawa. So is this on a per capita basis? Is this a 50,000 split? Is that what they're looking for? If so, or is it split on a per event type thing? Like, I mean, all we get is, say for instance, baseball, here, and everything else is held in Neepawa. I'm just wondering, what is the divide here for the divide on money? So if it's 50,000 they're expecting, what are the events that we're holding? What are the events that they're holding?
I don't think any of that has been structured yet, because they have to apply and find out what everything is first, I believe. So Councilor Dowsett, then Councilor Hunter, then Councilor.
All through our different AMM events, we're always told that if RMs and towns can get together and work as a unit, they're more successful for the programs we met. So I'm in favor of working with Neepawa. I think that it's a good marriage, and I'm like Mark, I wonder how we're gonna divide up ticket sales, blah, blah, blah. But I'm sure that would be negotiated.
And don't get me wrong, I am for it.
Okay, I got a line up here, so Councilor Landry.
So just to confirm, the $100,000 will not be earmarked unless it gets awarded to us and Neepawa.
Correct,
And the percentage between us and Neepawa is to be determined at a later date.
correct.
Once the two communities start talking, which they've had brief discussions already. Councilor Marks.
What I see here is a lot of projected capital costs that are not being discussed. I presume that this is gonna come with some facility improvements. And with some funding provincially, but it's gonna cost us some money. Well over and above that 100,000. I'd also like to know whether the school division has been consulted, as they are part of this letter. I would like to know whether the golf course, either Neepawa's or ours, has been consulted about using their facility, because it is one of the the mandatory ones. There are 3 electoral ones. In that regard, I think a question would be great. I'd love to see sailing, but I don't love sailing. But honestly, I don't know if the lake will have water in 2028. Or what color it might be. Cause when is the potential draining?
29.
29, is that at the earliest? Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see some more fiscal planning on this, and certainly, it's a short timeline. It's a very short timeline.
Councilor Taylor.
I just wanna say, I think it was 8 years ago, Minnedosa and Neepawa put a bid in. But the bid was awarded to Swan River, so this isn't the first time that we've done this, I think it was 8 years, it was 8 years ago, and it went to Swan River, so.
Councilor Butler.
I'm in favor of this. I think we should put the bid in, and I think there's gonna be a lot of meetings to sort out all the questions that we've had around here. Yeah, but the time frame is quick, so I think that's why we have to, and I think it's good for our community. It's good majorly, yeah, and so. That's all.
Councilor Marks.
I think if we do decide today that we put the bid in, that we should start establishing a committee today. I think some councils should be designated for this.
I just want to say when Canada's, when we did put the bid in before, it seemed like Neequa was controlling what we were getting and not getting, so I think that we need to step up and be a little bit more assertive on what we want. So, there, Councilor Mark.
I think whichever community has the best facility for the specific event is the one that should basically.
Oh, absolutely.
Particular.
There, we don't have a.
And you're right, we need to establish a committee and start having the conversations if we go for it, and I truly believe this is a great thing, I've been involved in. When we did the Winter Games years ago in this, and we did the Special Olympics Winter Games, that was one of the best things we ever did as far as I'm concerned in this community. Part of the Pan Am Games, it was wonderful, so I think it's well worth submitting the bid and starting the discussions, but yeah, start them sooner rather than later, so I would agree with that as well. So, any other comments?
There may be a slight timeline problem though, if we take a committee down, some of the councilors may or may not run again.
Yeah, I get that, but we still need to do that anyway, and then new councilors would take over when that happens. I think, yeah, Council Marks.
Yeah, there's some pretty concrete things that we have to submit for, and that's by March.
I read
I
it.
mean, that's 5-6 months, so.
Yeah, for sure, we're gonna get work on it. And I think back when we looked at doing this before, when Swan River got it, I know Cassandra and I went and spoke with Neequa, so I think people like that need to be, not Cassandra anymore, she's not here. But people like that, like Alicia, perhaps, or somebody, we need people like that involved as well, so, well, absolutely, but anyway. Any further comments on this? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Now,
Just a matter of order,
yes,
and when we have the votes, don't raise your hand. Because you're not supposed to vote.
yeah, no, I voted in everyone.
No, it's only when it's a tie, you're supposed to. Okay,
The procedure that I read, I vote, the mayor can either, mayor or Reed votes every time, or, and it was
I
established,
read that it's the other way.
it was established 4 years ago, I would vote every time.
Okay, no,
Like when I first got on, that discussion happened and we decided I would vote every time.
Oh, okay, right, that's.
And
3
you
years
can do
ago.
either or, but it was, that I would, the procedure was that I would vote every time.
I hadn't seen the vote.
That's fine, that's a good question.
No, no,
I have one additional comment regarding the bid, we should talk to Squirrel Hills as well.
Yep. So that being said, should we be, I know the concern is maybe, should we look at setting up, naming some councils to that right now? Are you guys okay doing that?
Yeah.
And then we can get a hold of Neequa and say we're ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, who, I guess, I'll ask the volunteers, who wants to be part of it?
I'll nominate Robert.
I'll nominate Tom.
It's, I will sit on it, I will gladly sit on it, I've done that sort of thing before, not that I'm that great at it, I would gladly do it. I don't wanna force anybody into it, if they're kind of being railroaded into it, they might not care to do that.
How many do you want?
I don't know, what do you think, should we have a mayor and 2 councilors?
Yeah, I thought 2 councils, but I wonder whether we should consider either a staff member or a community member or 2.
Well, I think that would be added on.
Yeah, that would be.
I think Frank, you've experienced this before, and whereas I never, so I'd be more happier that you would sit rather than myself.
Okay.
So,
I think Grant would be,
So,
he's very busy.
Robert and Frank and,
Well, do you want to, Robert, like
I,
But you had good information,
Huh?
you're up on it, so why wouldn't you?
well, that's,
it's actually in like on our meetings, when
Yeah.
meetings are.
if it's gonna be any time but the evening, it really does.
Quite often they were during the day.
And I think this is more of a daytime.
So you're
Yeah.
taking
yeah, that's fine, it's fine.
is everybody okay with that?
with Grant, yourself, and Frank.
And I think, what's that, sir?
Where are we at, sorry?
We're just picking a community member, the township representative.
Okay, so you start, you know, so.
Yeah, so Council Taylor. Council Butler. And myself. And I think we should, again, to start a conversation like that, but I think that. I don't know if I should say this out loud, but I think the CIO should be involved. Oh, definitely. Or is this going to direct? Well, I think going forward, we'll add those people.
Yeah.
But I think to start the negotiations with Nico, I think that it's only fair that, that the CAO be part of it. You're good with that? Very good.
I have a resolution that they're appointing.
Okay,
Should be right after. They'll have my short form though. Should be right. You see it?
yep. When I say that, I'm gonna add your name with it. Okay, so we have a resolution for appointing committee members, so moved by Councillor Dowsett, second by Councillor Landry. That the following members of council be appointed to the 2028 Manitoba Summer Games Committee: Councillor Frank Taylor, Deputy Mayor Butler, Mayor Ken Cameron, and CAO Danielle Carrier. Okay. Any further questions on that? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Well, that was quick, well done.
Okay, next resolution, supplementary added and deleted taxes, moved by Councillor Butler, second by Councillor Landry. Whereas the town received notification of supplementary assessment from the province, and whereas administration processed and added and deleted tax statements from the supplementary assessment, therefore be it resolved. Therefore, be it resolved that council authorize the following added and deleted assessments on the current tax roll and levy taxes accordingly. I'm not gonna read all those, you can all see them. So, Councilor Lyon.
So are these, according to the resolution on the screen? Are these values increase in assessment values? Or are they tax amount that the residents owe? That we're adding, like the wording makes it seem one way, but the numbers make it look like another.
So the supplemental is. After we received the final tax roll from the province,
Yes.
somebody did something to their property to either increase their assessment or decrease their assessment.
Okay,
So we get these sent to us in October,
yes,
to put them through the system. So
so,
either somebody added a garage, deleted a garage, a business,
so is this the tax amount that they owe?
yes.
So this is what they would owe, not the increase in property value, correct?
Well, it's based off the. increase
Yes.
Yes.
Correct, so this is what they owe in
in
addition,
tax. Yes, yes,
In addition to what they're,
Already paid.
yes.
that's what I'm just wanting to understand here, because there's a couple of these numbers that are pretty big.
yeah,
The
$5,000 or $7,000.
Yeah, are these also due? In 2024, cause I know there was somebody rumbling on social media about owing additional taxes. And I have a strange feeling that it has to do with this.
So again, once we get the final roll from the province.
Yes.
We'll get that anytime now.
Okay,
If anybody makes any changes in November, December, that's not going to hit the tax roll in 2026.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get a supplementary for all of 26 and part of 25. It's when the provincial cutoffs are,
oh, okay,
and just so council is aware, with regards to the Facebook post, administration did a reassessment and did find an error. We've contacted her, met with her in person and have corrected it. All the other ones said, well, has been analyzed and they're all fine.
thank you.
Councilor Marks.
So this is for the 2025 tax year or the 2024 tax year?
Both. So some of these will have November and December of 24
Okay.
after supplementals went out in 24 already. So it's just a month,
Oh, so this is 14 months, not
could be
12?
14 months, could be 13 months, could be 12 months and 2 weeks. It all depends on when,
Okay,
Work
okay,
is
it's just
yes.
prorated,
yes.
all right.
That's Taylor.
Just, there's one on here that's almost $8,000. What would have been missed on that assessment, Daniel?
It was brand new house build.
I'm sorry?
It was a brand new house build. So the work wasn't completed by the time the final,
Oh, okay,
yes,
okay. Thank you. I just saw that and I thought, holy mackerel,
Yes.
that was missed. What? You said something?
There isn't a bigger one for the renovated coal? Or that'll
Yeah.
be next year?
Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
No, that's what.
So. Regarding the Board of Revision, do they have the opportunity to rebut this before?
yes.
Yes,
We
okay,
have to have supplementals out by a certain date
okay,
in order for them to apply for an appeal. They so wish.
okay.
Okay, moving on to financial matters, the first resolution, financial statements. Moved by Councillor Dowsett, second by Councillor Butler. They resolved that the September 2025 financial statements for the town of Minnedosa be approved as presented. Questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Next resolution, general audit. Excuse me, you okay? Moved by general operating, moved by Council Landry, second by Councillor Dowsett. Be it resolved that general accounts for the month of September 2025 in the amount of $328,150.38 and including the check numbers 5986 through 6081 and September payroll be approved. Questions, comments? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Utility operating. Next resolution, so moved by Councillor Taylor, second by Councillor Landry. Be it resolved that utility accounts for the month of September 2025 in the amount of $230,796.88 and including the check numbers 2025 through 2063 and September utility payroll be approved. Questions or comments on that? Councillor Marks.
I would like to say that general governance does review these two registers and the budgets to actuals. And myself, and even more so, Councillor Landry asked questions in the form of emails and received answers to said emails. And if any councillors that are not on the committees would like to see copies of said emails, I'm more than happy to forward them to you.
Okay, thank you. Other questions and comments? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, moving on to reports. I do not have a report this month. So going on, Councillor Robert Marks.
As presented,
Any questions for Councillor Marks? Okay, oh, did you have just,
Just, I guess, the correction from before about this active living. I would specifically say that. They've abandoned that Southwest one. That wasn't really the.
that was the understanding of what I got from Grant, and now that he's here, we can't.
Sorry.
So is Active Living still pursuing the development of the 3 lots if possible, or
Yes.
they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I-
if they're sold, then we would look elsewhere.
Okay, good, then that was my misunderstanding.
any other questions? Councillor Butler.
my reports there, I'm gonna highlight a couple things, CDC, for their gala, from 2024. Raised about just over $4,200, and they used to purchase, picnic tables for Spray Park, one with the wheelchair accessibility and paint the, lookout tower, but that won't be done until the spring. And then I attended the Manitoba Community Recycling and Waste Reduction Forum, which was very good. The focus is on, recycling and waste, and reduction of waste. I do have a couple of recommendations there that I would like council to consider. One is on, household hazardous waste material, which I never really thought about, and I've asked a few people what they're doing with theirs, and it's going into the garbage. That includes hairsprays, spray bottles,
Propane tanks.
well, yeah, they've been going in there too, but they're not supposed to. So my recommendation is that, and I've talked to Evergreen Technologies, I think we as a council or as a town should look at having somewhere here that the community could drop off those hazardous wastes rather than them going into the landfill, and we should be promoting that as much as possible. The RM, I believe the RM Dana would also work with us on that so that their residents would do the same thing. They really shouldn't be going in the landfill. It's a danger to our people that work out there, but it's also not good for the environment. And I didn't even realize what household hazardous waste materials are. And
Yeah, we have a facility out there for them to drop.
right, but people won't take them out there necessarily. And I think they should be,
Yeah.
but it's a drive, and so if we can accommodate them here somehow, I don't think it would be a large expense. We just need to find to work with it. I've talked to Danielle about this, so that's one of my recommendations. The second one is a composting. We had two presentations. One was by the same company that came here with those
Units.
equal threes.
Yeah.
But the one that was more intriguing was what Winnipeg is doing right now. They haven't gone to all areas of the city with curb pickup for their composting. They place green bins throughout the community, and people drop off the composting in those bins, and they pick them up. They monitor them twice a week, and then they pick them up whenever they get to a full component. I think it's something we should be looking at. Their information, I'm not sure it was accurate or not, but there's quite a few pounds per month that are of garbage, like household food, that is being thrown in our landfill, which is one of the main contributors to methane gas. And if we can get it out of our landfill, the Evergreen really doesn't have a compost site.
So,
We do,
sorry, but are you talking household compostable?
yes.
Okay, so. Food scraps, food, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that we should look at what Winnipeg has done as far as strategically putting these bins around and maybe working with MWM is a possibility to do something. When I looked online, on average, it's about a family would be about 14 pounds a month of household garbage, like compostable material.
You're talking about food waste.
Yes.
Not composting, like.
Leaves.
No,
Just so that's,
yeah.
that was one thing then.
Right, and I don't think it would be a high cost, but I also think it should not be going in our landfill. And we do have a composting site out here, that it could end up there. The other part that is the Manitoba Stewardship are coming out of the program. They indicated that if we have a recycling program right now, and we have a contract, that we shouldn't sign a long-term one. Because they're coming up with a program of opt-in or opt-out, where if you opt in, they will look after it. So they will do the RFQ for the recycling. They will do the working with the community and the contractor. Or you can opt out. Opt out means that we continue with what we're doing right now, and I know our recycling contract is up in 2026, you should know that. So it's something to. We should be thinking about. They are going to have, been reaching out to, RMs in 2026, hopefully summertime after that. They're hoping to implement this program. The funds are coming from that 2 or 3 cents that you put in on all of the materials that are recyclable. And that's where they supposedly were going to fund this through. They did not say if there's gonna be a cost to the household or not. Right now, we don't have one. So that is going to be, yet to be determined, I think, but it's, something that is coming forward, and they've been working on this program for 20 years, quite a few years,
Yeah, a long time.
yeah.
There's some communities that do have it, but
This is a brand new program. Brand new.
we went for a meeting.
Yeah, they've been talking about it, but no community has it yet.
Yeah.
If they've hired a contractor, they have, but this is where the government will. Multi-material stewardship Manitoba will actually pay the contractor, they'll look after the contractor, they'll take care of the community. Basically what MWM is doing for us,
It removes it off our plate.
they take care of it totally. And that's something they've been talking about for quite some time, but it's just, they haven't got their. I think their original discussion, I got emails back. When they started this, because I was a contractor that they wanted to know if I wanted to be part of the system. And at the time, they talked about, they would do everything like that for you, and you would still get a check at the end of it. For your stewardship. I'm not sure, they didn't know if that's gonna happen or not, and I'm not sure that's still on the table, because they might keep that money.
If you want,
Run the program,
if you opt in, they keep the money. If you opt out, it will continue on as per normal.
you had your hand up.
Vic, about the household thing. Are you thinking or suggesting that we do that in-house?
I think that's a starting point, but I think
Hence
maybe
why
talk
we
to
have-
WM, or where they might fall into that.
Okay, would they utilize our compost?
I don't know if they have a compost at their site or not, I don't know, that's something we'd have to investigate.
Right,
And I think the other part is that. My personal feeling is that, those are 2 areas that we're lacking.
Yep.
And the other part is just the whole recycling, I think we need to do some more educating of our community. I gave Danielle something that the First Nations have put together.
Right.
They've got a plan, and they've got, working with their communities. And I think that's something we should be doing, because. I can't say that I know this for 100% for sure, other than since we've gone to the larger garbage containers. I think there's some recycling that is going into those bins.
It's absolutely 100% for sure, because even talking to people, they say they put the stuff in there, they never put it for.
Yeah, so I think that's where we need to do some work with our community, educating with our community about recycling.
That's the worst.
Are you picking up less?
No, more.
Okay.
Yeah, we could tell, they keep track of the numbers, I don't, but I almost have to make a second run on Tuesdays and Fridays because the truck's full.
Okay,
Well, that's good.
so.
So obviously that's not.
So that could be perfect, that was all.
Yeah.
but the green bin program that they have in Winnipeg. We had the company, I forget the name of the company that came in, had that household unit.
Yeah.
It was pretty dear, was it not?
$100
Yeah.
We paid free, but you can buy it on Amazon for 3 now.
Yeah, oh, it's gone down.
Yeah, we'll look at it in the presentation. I just think that something I would like to think that I think as a council, we should be,
Proactive.
yes, and work in that area. And I don't think it's gonna be a major expense. I think it's something we should, my recommendation is we should look at those 2 areas.
Excellent.
And that's it. My other stuff about the Brett Kissel marketing is on there, and I think Danielle shared the report that Sabina sent out.
And thank you very much for that. It was well done. And again, thank you very much for bringing that. Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
you also
Yeah, no, I
lived
get it.
up to what you said. So.
Yeah, No, I think it was important that Grant took care of that.
Yeah,
He was the
yeah,
chair of
no,
that.
and that's what I said at the meeting, right? So, no, much appreciate, Graham. And thanks to me, of course.
Any other questions for that councillor? No, sorry. Oh. Not for Grant, okay. Thank you, I think that, did you have something you?
Yeah, just the vet board received a $30,000 grant from the Minnedosa Foundation for the expansion, so we are receiving that. I believe on the 17th of November.
That's.
That reminds me that the complex board received a $20,000 grant also for the siren.
And then also the library got $3,000 in 50+ center, 2,800.
I didn't have time to fill out a report, but Lieutenant Crossley, I will put out the next meeting. Because that happened this morning, so there's no way. And also Yellowhead is having their AGM on November the 14th, in case anyone wants to show up for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good, thank you. Okay. Moving on, I guess we'll go in camera. So we have a resolution. Moved by Councillor Dowsett, second by Councillor Blade. Be resolved that this regular meeting now adjourns to an in-camera meeting to discuss matters in the preliminary stages as per subsection 1523B3 of the Municipal Act, and all matters discussed in camera are confidential until discussed in an open meeting as per section 83(1)B of the Municipal Act. Further be resolved that the video recording be paused at 6:47. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. A quick break.
You old guy, that's the door.
Okay, that brings us to other. I know the Brett Kessel report is there. Is there any further questions on that? We're all good? Councillor Lander?
I just wanted to comment on the engagement statistics that are in the report. I thought that they were a little bit low for the engagement. If you look at the difference between the 3-second click versus the 1-minute click, kind of tells you who clicked on it by accident and stopped it versus who actually watched it and engaged. And I feel like the numbers were relatively low on the 1-minute long views. I feel that given the level of investment that we put into it, I feel comfortable in standing by my decision to vote against putting the $100,000 towards that originally. I feel like we wouldn't have gotten our value by contributing the extra 100,000.
There's 47% of all statistics are made up.
So
47.
It's 57.
Okay, point taken. Thank you. Anything else? Okay, anybody have anything else under other? If not. Final resolution, moved by. Councillor Dowsett, second by Councillor Landry. Be resolved that the meeting be adjourned at 7:09 PM and to meet again on November 18th, 2025 at the Minnedosa Community Conference Center, Sanderson, Maryland. All in favor? Opposed?
And thank you guys for setting this room up.